Welcome to the Good Karma Sport Fishing Podcast. I'm your host, Captain Ryan Van Fleet. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Now, before I get on with the fishing tip today, I want to just go over a couple things. First, I want to thank the guys that got involved with my first Facebook Live on the Good Karma Sport Fishing Podcast Facebook page last Sunday. Now, I will be doing another Facebook Live this Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern, and we're going to be announcing the project that we've been working on over the past several months, long before COVID. I'm super excited to share what we've been working on with you guys. So, again, it's going to be this Sunday, August 9th at 7 p.m. Eastern. Now, to see the Facebook Live podcast, you have to join the Good Karma Sport Fishing Podcast Facebook group. It's a private group, so you have to fill out the information before you can be accepted to the group. But again, that's super excited. So make sure you guys tune in, get part of the Facebook group if you're not already. And special thanks to the guys that are in the group and contributing. So seeing some great fishing reports in there. And I just like seeing the level of detail. So thanks again, guys. Let's see. Oh, the downrigger course. So we're going to be filming part 2 of the downrigger course for those guys that have purchased the 3-part series. Now, I had some questions in the group about, will the series just cover all about downrigger fishing? No, it will not. There's going to be different. I've decided to break it up over segments to talk about different. It's just not going to be one long series on downrigger fishing. So I have a lot to talk about. So I'm going to be breaking each course up into different parts because there's just so much to talk about. And if I were to release one video, it would be like almost 24 hours or 48 hours long. So we just decided to break up the videos over several months, and I'm trying to get the videos all done for you guys before October's full moon. So, which is when I'm anticipating the first big push of wahoo in the Florida Keys. Now, I've been wrong 1,000,001 times. So, but again, we'll be filming part 2 today. Some of it on the water, and then I'll have to finish up the second half of part 2, and that'll be constructing the high speed planer. I'm going to show you guys how I do it in my office here. So, but today we got to do it on the water because it's a nicer day out this afternoon, and we're just going to go out and do the demonstration. And if we catch a fish, we catch a fish. If not, no big deal. But you guys will get the picture of how I do it. Now, I have a lot of things planned for the courses. A couple of them are going to be live bait secrets on how to juice your baits. There is some secrets to juicing your baits. So I'm going to reveal that secret and show you guys how to juice your baits. If you guys don't know what juicing your baits is, then you're just going to have to wait for the course. So today I want to talk more dolphin fishing. Honestly, I haven't been much. I've been 3 times. Actually, no, I'm sorry. I've been twice since the Keys reopened. So, and honestly, I kind of regretted going. So, I love the dolphin fish. I'm extremely good at it. I love to hunt for the big fish. And there's just been a lot of small fish. And so I had some clients that wanted to go yesterday. So I gave them the usual spiel about, it's going to be tough probably. We had a big push last week because I stay in touch with what's happening. And we had a big push before the tropical storm, whatever name it was that I don't remember already. Because basically it was a light rain event down here that messed up business. So, but anyways, so of course I go to bed the night before and, the forecast is, 1 to 2s. I wake up in the morning and it's 13 to 15 out of the south to southeast. So I'm like, oh, shit. Now, I wanted to get way south yesterday, and that's where the best fishing was. And then up in Miami, it was really good too. Now, so I wanted to get down past the Islamorada Hump and start way down there and then work my way north. Obviously that's the typical thing to do. So, but I couldn't get down there because we were getting the shit kicked out of us. Now, the Seakeeper does an amazing job as far as reducing the rock and roll, but it doesn't stop the waves from pounding you in the bow. So I couldn't do it. So I ended up having to go to another area that I didn't want to go to. But that's what the guys wanted to do. They wanted the dolphin troll. But the plan was to dolphin fish for a little while, then go do some bottom fishing. So, but what happened was it just took us so long to get out there that you got to spend some time, because if you don't spend any time, then you don't catch any fish, and it just doesn't work like that, especially when the fish are scattered around and there's just not big congregations of them. So there just wasn't a lot of like congregated fish out there, and you found some fish that were that were really small fish, not even worth like that were actually they couldn't put the hooks in their mouths because they were so small. So they were little babies, like little baby peanuts. So I did find some fish that wouldn't eat, of course, on the moon, and they just wouldn't do it. And I had on a nice one, and then he dropped it, and the barracuda grabbed it. So I did have my shot at my big fish, but he didn't stick, and then the cuda grabbed the bait, and that was a mess. So I ended up catching the cuda instead of the bigger fish, but it is what it is. And then, yeah, so like I said, the plan was to go out and just spend, it was a 10-hour day, was to spend 5 hours of dolphin fishing, which we did. And we caught a few dolphin, and and the clients wanted to catch quality fish. The client commits to catching quality fish, then we go look for quality fish. If we don't find a quality fish, that's great. And then the other part of the plan was to go do some bottom fishing, and then we went and did the bottom fishing, and we caught some nice muttons. And the clients just wore out on me. Then we just called it a day and came home a little bit early because the heat just got to them. So they just were overly tired. So, but that's fishing, man. You get tired, you get wore out there. So to the guys that are out there going dolphin fishing every day, keep going, do it every day, because any day now those fish are going to swim through. And I hope you guys are there on the first push of those fish. Like I said, the best thing for you guys to do is if you're in the Keys, is to get yourself way south, down past the 409 hump, and start looking for the bigger fish there, because that's where they'll be this time of year as they push through. Now, I've had years where they'll push through in 1,200 to 1,600 feet, and I've been lucky enough to be out there on a push day in 1,600, and I caught some nice ones. So an average size fish was 30 pounds, so we left them biting because I didn't have any more room in my cooler. So I've had days like that down there, but I don't get down there very often. So, but when I do, I'm hoping that I score big. And it was one of those days we had a debris push, man. If you have a debris push day where everything sets up and you're in the right place at the right time, you're going to have a hell of a day. But that happens by fishing often, not by fishing once in a while. If you're fishing once in a while and you have a day like that, you've had a great day. So you got to really kind of stay in touch with that. And this time of year, the fish, depending on what the west wind does. Now, we had a lot of west wind with the storm, and those fish might have been out. I didn't get out that far yesterday. I got out to 1,200. I saw a nice line out there, but everybody was all running around everywhere looking for fish. And so one of my tips for you guys is if you guys are able to go fishing often, keep going often right now, because you are going to hit a day when they move through. Okay? And when it gets a little bit away from this moon, that's when it's going to happen. So I'm praying that it's going to happen soon for you guys, where you guys will really start getting rewarded, because you guys are putting in your time out there from the way it looks in the fishing reports. So I'm hoping you guys are going to get rewarded with some really nice gaffing size heavy lifter fish, some fish that have some nice, what I call fish taco meat on their back straps. So, and they're going to yield you some nice quality meat. So keep fishing often. Be prepared. I'm kind of envious of you guys, because you guys are able to go out there and go dolphin fishing every day, because I really love the dolphin fish. I just can't do that from a charter point view, because it's just not worth it. And two, I have like a lot of my clients now are really into the bottom fishing, which is great, because I really love to bottom fish. But yeah, so, and I have one story to share. So this is a crazy story. Goes back to when, I think this is year 2 or year 3 when I was charter fishing. And I would dolphin fish a lot. I mean, I dolphin fished all the time, all year. I did not do any sort of live baiting. I did not do. I think this is right when I was like, no, it was a year two. I forget. I don't know, but it was a long time ago. It was before YouTube blew up. So I was trolling all the time, and then I would do yellowtail fishing. That's all I did. Okay, and I had a group, and this was I think it was like during early spring break, and they wanted to go trolling, and we went trolling. Of course, that's all I did was I trolled. So I took the group out, and we spanked a nice wahoo on the downrigger on the Islamorada hump. So after the wahoo, the ocean got really flat, and the fish basically disappeared. The tunas were gone. Everything just like it was like, oh my god, it was like nothing there. So it's like that happens a lot when you're offshore. The conditions change, like boom, the sun got hot and the wind died and everything was dead. So I was like, oh my gosh. So, but I was dolphin obsessed. I was obsessed. And in my mind, I wasn't even thinking about the clients at that time. I was like super obsessed with catching big dolphin. Obsessed with catching any dolphin. So I ran offshore. And way offshore, of course, this is like in March when there can be absolutely no dolphin out there. And there were no dolphin. And I was stressed out. Like, I was like, oh my God. I was like, oh. So I start trolling back home. Okay. And I get just inside the Islamorada hump. And there's a weed line that sets up there sometimes later in the day. And it was all scattered around. So I threw out the sea witches at that time. And boom, I get crushed by a 25-pound cow. Okay? And so I hooked up a big dolphin. So I'm like all jacked up. I'm like, okay. So basically I had a guy, and I had him on wire too. So I had a guy. It was like the fish came running to the boat and he came in hot. So I gaffed the fish, and the fish was green, okay? The fish was not hooked. And the fish basically, like, literally almost jumped. He jumped, like, he hit the floor, and he jumped, and he, like, literally was going over the gunnel, and somehow I grabbed that fish, and he was green, and I threw him into my chest. And the fish was literally just kicking me in the ass. A 25-pound fish. And he slapped me in the face with his tail. And I literally went Ric Flair all over this fish. Like, I literally went like... I brought out the inner Ric Flair because I didn't have a club. And the fish was crazy green. And I was not going to lose that fish overboard. And they almost did. He literally jumped, and I somehow grabbed him by the gill, and he was barely holding on, and I threw him to the floor, and I literally went Ric Flair on this fish. And when it was all said and done, my hat was off, my sunglasses were broke, and the clients had videoed me, and I didn't know it, what they were doing, and I was bloody from head to toe. My face had I got slapped in the face, had a big red mark from the dolphin's tail, and my fist, I ended up I hit the fish in the head with my, because I couldn't get him to stop. I was like, I didn't know what to do, and I didn't want to lose the fish for the clients. I really didn't, because the fish, that's all I could think about was keeping this fish in the boat. And I literally had to I put my fat ass on top of the fish to keep him from going anywhere. And I was like, and all the while the clients looked at me like, oh my God, that is passion. They were laughing. They had me on video. They're like, I can't believe you did that for us. It's like the boat was a bloody mess because of me going Ric Flair on this fish. And I go, we got him, right? And he's like, yep. And I asked them, they got everything on video. So you want to watch the video? I was like, oh my God, please do not share that video. Please. Because it was brutal. I was so mad at this fish, and I just wanted him to stay in the boat. So, but my clients got a kick out of it. They got a great laugh. We had a good time at the end. It's like what Kyle Chandler talked when I had Kyle Chandler, the movie star from The Wolf of Wall Street, played the FBI guy that chased down Leonardo. Like I said in one of my previous podcasts, a couple podcasts ago, that you have all these slow times in between the charter, and you could start off catching the biggest wahoo or the biggest dolphin of the day, and then go for hours and not catch anything the rest of the day. But we ended up catching that big fish, and they got a hell of a story to tell about the captain that jumped on the fish and put him in a WWF chokehold and tried to figure four the fish and all that stuff. So they were into it, man. Though I think one of the wives started clapping. And they were bored the whole time. I was like, but they got back to the dock. They were super happy. They got their dolphin. They got their wahoo. They got their pictures, and they got a really nice email from them. And so, but yeah. So anyway, so the time I tried to put a big dolphin in a Ric Flair figure four, yep, it happened. So, guys, that's all I got. We got to get ready to go out and do some filming. So I really appreciate you guys listening. I got something really, really super cool I'm going to be announcing next week. The podcast listeners that are part of the Facebook group get to hear it first, and then I'll be announcing it after that the following Monday on Instagram and through the podcast of what's happening. So something that everybody in the world will be able to participate in. So, guys, make sure that you follow me on Instagram, Good Karma Sport Fishing _FL_keys. My website for charter information is www.goodkarmasportfishing.com. And then make sure you check out my courses and all the other stuff I got on my tackle site. I'm going to be adding more to that here soon, and it's goodkarmafishingtackle.com. Thanks for listening, guys, and remember, anytime you're fishing, it's all good.